Alright, let's take a look into nuts and milk. So we've got our nuts right here, milk over there. Just gonna put them together and do a little review on them. Really hoping that walnuts were the right choice. Yeah, not bad. Better than I thought it'd be. 8 out of 10. Made in 1984 by Hudson Soft, the Japanese exclusive Nintendo Famicom game, Nuts and Milk, has nothing to do with nuts or milk. Or maybe it does, because you are Milk, the pink-colored blob who is on a mission to save his fiancée Yogurt. Then there's the enemy of the game, Nut, who also wants to save Yogurt and prevent you from saving her. Of course, there's no way for you to know this unless you have the manual, but I always loved that companies tried to incorporate some sort of story in their game, even though it wasn't necessary at all for the era. Collect all the fruit on a given level and then go to Yogurt, who always appears on the house in the top left to advance to the next stage. No weapons here, you're armed with nothing more than a jump button. Levels are designed rather simply, and the puzzles are often more about how to avoid your enemies than anything. This isn't a bad thing though, as it offers a lot of quick thinking gameplay that adds to the excitement. There are a handful of cute touches too. Fall from too great of a height and you're momentarily stunned. Bounce too long on a spring and your character gets dizzy and you lose control over him momentarily. These are things you need to think about when you're navigating the level. It has just a certain level of charm and personality that I really like. A multiplayer mode is available, but it's just for taking turns playing the main game. A welcome feature nonetheless. With 50 levels in total and 2 difficulties, it could be longer, but it does feel like an acceptable length. When you run out of lives, it's game over and back to the title screen for you. No continues. Not all is lost though. At any point in time, you can press select to skip your current stage to go to the next one. Now, one thing this game does have that I'm a sucker for is a level designer. Sick of the 50 stages? Make your own. This is the true multiplayer mode in my book. It's a lot of fun to make levels for a friend or play the ones they make. Who would play their own levels anyway? Yep. One of the very first things that hit me about this game is that there's a certain sort of stiffness to its control. Control is something that's always hard to describe, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyways. There's no controlling your jump trajectory once you're in the air. You either jump in place, jump forward, or you kinda jump half forward, all depending on how you were moving before hitting jump. What's strange is these rules apply for falling as well. Depending on how long you were moving forward before you fall, you'll either fall at an arc or fall straight down. This may not sound like a big deal, but it becomes frustrating in levels where falling or jumping too far or not enough can mean instant death, which is most levels to varying degrees. Control is especially unforgiving on these springs, where you need to hit jump right as you begin touching it to do a super jump. If you don't nail it, then that usually means dying. If any of you have played the original Super Mario Bros., the first 3 Castlevanias, or Donkey Kong, you may have a rough idea on how this feels. They don't even feel bad per se, but I can see people who didn't grow up with games with similar quirks, or don't have the patience for this, can get turned off very quickly. If you own a Famicom or an NES clone that supports Famicom games such as the Retron 5, this might be the game for you. It's a great little puzzle platformer and could be had easily for $10 to $15, even after import shipping. I don't think it's for everyone though. If the premise sounds rather mundane and you'd rather not fight through unforgiving controls for what sounds like ultimately an average experience, then by no means should you be buying this game.